time for your news with views alert. Are you ready? And now, Roger Fredenberg, your host. Here's today's alert. So it's official now. Rand Paul, son of Ron, has now put his hat in the ring to run for the presidency of the United States of America 2016. Now, this old radio hack has been friends, or I should say on-air friends, with Ron Paul for many years. Congressman Paul used to come on the radio show quite regularly. He and I had some extreme differences, as I did with Harry Browne, who also was the Libertarian candidate for a number of elections, because Harry Browne and Ron Paul, when he was a Libertarian, really don't believe in borders. So I had a real issue over the years, a lot of arguments with those guys about the border. You know, true libertarians think that borders should not exist, that everyone should just be free to go anywhere they want, blah, blah, blah. And there may be some truth to that. I mean, a lot of folks ascribe to the libertarian ideals. But I think that good fences make good neighbors. I believe you have to have a border or you don't have a country. And so, you know, you get into a lot of conflict with people who don't understand. We don't really know exactly where Rand Paul stands on the border or on immigration, because he hasn't said a lot. He has made comments about not liking the imperial presidency, which is good. You like to hear that. And of course, he's been a good advocate for conservative causes. He stood against the regulations. I liked what he said. You know, he said, if we nominate a candidate, quoting Rand Paul, if we nominate a candidate who is simply Democrat light, what's the point? Why bother? Kind of like Hillary Clinton's at this point. What does it really matter? However, point is that he's blasting Democrats for failing any inner city children, leaving them with daily ugliness that dashes hope. I'm just quoting Rand Paul from his speech yesterday. He, quoted Ronald Reagan with the 9 most terrifying words in the English language. I'm the government and I'm here to help. Blah, blah, blah. Now, you look at Rand Paul, you look at his record, you look at his public commentary. He has been against unexplained regulations from the government, which is a good thing. He has some really good points. He has, really kind of turned against and always stood against the big bullies of the government, even the land use bullies. He thinks a lot of land regulations and stuff are a bunch of nonsense, and he's right on that. Like I said, he has some really good, solid points. And, we're going to want to watch Senator Paul, as he, continues this effort to run for president. He's up against, Ted Cruz and a bunch of folks who get in the race. Jeb Bush. Oh, my God. Please, God, not another Bush. And like I said, if you look at his voting record, you can find it on web. He scores pretty high on most conservative ideals, which is a good thing. And I like the guy. I don't think you're ever going to find a candidate that will fit the bill 100% of the time. But here's why none of it matters to me, and it shouldn't matter to you, and what we need to fight for. You see, those inner city kids, Senator, now presidential candidate Rand Paul, those inner city kids are struggling because America is struggling. America is struggling because the real wealth of America has been locked up. Wealth is derived only from natural resources. Everything else is an illusion. All other wealth, financial instruments on Wall Street and all of that nonsense is meaningless if you don't have a sound extraction and production program. In other words, you're not taking things from the earth and turning them into usable, desirable products that people want to pay money for, then all of your wealth is just artificial. It's phony. Even Osama bin Laden, God rest his soul. Poor old Osama bin Laden with his white papers, he came out against the United States. He said 75% of America's economic power is derived from artificial means, financial instruments that have no intrinsic or real true value to anyone anywhere. It's all make-believe. It's poof goes the magic dragon kind of thing, right? And Osama bin Laden was right. So listen, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, John Kasich, whoever's going to get in the Republic, Jeb Bush, whoever you are out there, listen to me very carefully. You will not ever positively affect the economy of America unless you unlock the resources. You have to kick the green Nazi hippie do-gooder dimwits out of the courts with, their artificial standing in court. You need to quit worrying about spotted owls and, little darter snails and all kinds of stupid garbage like that. You need to get serious about extracting resources, like especially renewable resources like timber, hello, trees do grow back. You need to extract those things out of the earth and turn them into real products. Otherwise, it's all an illusion. America will never, ever, ever recover. In California right now, you have these major, major drought crises all through the Northwest, really. Everywhere the environmentalists have been, we have these problems. Hello? You notice that the environmentalists don't bother anyone east of the Mississippi because everything east of the Mississippi has been developed already. So what they do is they focus on the West Coast, where we still have open space and wildlands, and they try desperately to shut all that down, which is the true source of wealth for the country. We can never pull out of the economic malaise. Another thing that I would say to Mr. Cruz and Mr. Paul is this. We cannot live in a world where phony free trade programs bring into existence this silliness that we call trade agreements that leave American companies bearing the entire tax burden, or the American people bearing the entire tax burden of the economy, while foreign importers come in and get a free ride. Example, China, one of the largest importers of products for consumers into America, pays no tax in America, pays no tariffs, no duties, no excise tax, nothing, nada. They come into the economy 100% free, tax free. But American companies are faced with a 35% corporate income tax and regulations from on high that are literally designed to completely shut down and destroy American business. If we continue in that vein in America, it cannot be fixed. It will not be fixed. And we will never, ever see an economic recovery, I guess is the term. We'll never see it. So you've got to call these people and you've got to explain to them free trade should be free for America as much as it is free for China. American corporations are starting at a 35% deficit with the corporate income tax. American businesses are taxed and regulated to death. China is getting a free ride. They come in the marketplace with no overhead, no cost, other than their slave labor back home to make their products or whatever. That stuff's got to change. Got to change. Got to change. Okay? So if we're going to fix the country and we're going to solve these problems, there's your answer. Also today, a verdict in the Dzhokhar, I like to call him Joker, Tsarnaev trial. Convicted on like 30 counts, I guess. 92 witnesses were called, 15 days. They hacked away at this thing. 30 counts, eligible for the death penalty. We'll see where it goes. Terrorism in America is going to continue to grow until we realize, till we understand, till we stand up to the fact that Islam is not a religion, but it is a global cult masquerading as a religion. It's a political cult masquerading as a religion. That's what I think it is. You can say I'm crazy. I don't really care. I'm not crazy. I know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm Roger Fredenberg. Until tomorrow, God bless. Stay tuned. Be well. And tell your friends about us, will you please? Thank you.